Every single successful person, they all have the exact same thing in common. They've all failed. But I think you owe it to yourself to find out how good you can get.
But you entice people to chase failure. How does chasing failure lead to success?
Yeah, that's a great question. This is God's honest truth. This is the best podcast I've ever been on.
Really?
It's not close.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Melanin Money Show. And today we have a very special guest. So special, I'm going to read his amazing bio. So today's guest is a New York Times best-selling author, speaker, and leadership coach who has trained over 30,000 people and spoke on some of the largest stages. He first found his voice in the church, where his passion for ministry met a sharp eye for business. From pulpits to boardrooms, he's trained leaders in both faith communities and Fortune 100 companies. So with no further ado, Ryan Leak, how are you?
Wow, what an intro.
Hey, look,
That's
the accomplishments, bro.
It's easy when it's
Next
true.
level, yeah.
It's easy when it's true, man. We've
Yeah.
been following your work, love what you do, man, and
That's awesome.
honored and excited to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So, the first question I have for you is that one thing I know is that most people don't chase their goals or their dreams because they're scared of failure.
That's right.
But you entice people to chase failure, right? How does chasing failure lead to success?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that there's something powerful about somebody that's just willing to try. So many people spend way too many years of their life thinking about what if, maybe, shoulda, wouldas, couldas. But I think you owe it to yourself to find out how good you can get. I think you owe it to yourself to find out how far you can go, how high you can jump. And the only way that's going to happen is if you try some things, and along the way you're going to fail. Here's what I realized, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago. Every single successful person that we look up to, follow on the internet, listen to their podcast, subscribe to their YouTube channel, read their books, you name it. They all have the exact same thing in common. They've all failed. Yet we've all been taught to steer away from the very thing that made them who they are. You zoom into any of their stories. It was a setback. It was a struggle. It was a closed door that made them go, all right, bet. Let me double down. Yeah. And that's when they took off. And so I like to call myself a failure enthusiast. When people fail, I'm like, let's go. They're like, wow, I lost. I'm like, but did you learn? If you're taking notes, that's the thing that's going to make you successful.
Awesome. You often kind of talk about closing the gap between who you are and who you want to be. Can you kind of expound upon what that looks like from your perspective?
So a lot of people have these aspirations, like, man, it'd be great if I could start a business.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be great if I could write a book.
Yeah, over here, bro.
It'd be great if I could be a speaker, man. I would love to, start a podcast. I'd love it. And so people can be very aspirational. Yeah. But I think how you close that gap is when you start putting stuff on your calendar that says, all right, I'm gonna actually do something about who I want to be. Yeah. So when people tell me their dreams, I usually just pull out GoDaddy.com and I say, hey, what's the URL going to be?
Yeah.
And make them do it on the spot.
Yeah. I said, I'll give you $11.99. I'll invest in your dreams, but you won't?
Wow.
Yeah. Think about that for a second. It's like, if you can't buy the URL, then you're not ready to pursue your dreams. And so I said, we could start that pursuit right now. And now with ChatGPT, give me the URL. Right. Yeah. I can have a web content. I can have your contact form. Like, we can get this thing popping like pretty fast. Yeah. But then that's when people are like, they're like, you mean like we're going to do this? I'm like, do you really want to be this person or not? It's like, but you owe it to yourself to find out. So I have this mentality where I wake up every day and I go, I got to find out how good I can get.
Yeah. And it's funny. So Carter has a pretty nice car this fast. Yeah. I recently got a new car. And of course, when you get a new car, you always want to test that a little bit, right? You want to see can it go, right? And it's like it's kind of like that mentality of like, I have this engine that says it can get up to 150, 160. I might not drive that every day because it's safe and it's not, it might not be safe and legal, but you have to find out, right? Like what it's made of, right? And I think that's what people don't realize. Like they are that Ferrari, they are that Lamborghini, and they're driving 20 miles an hour their whole life. They're never pressing go, you know?
Yeah, why would you do that? Why buy the car if you're not gonna, move it?
Especially when you know the manufacturer.
No question.
Right? When you know the manufacturer who designed you to do things
100%.
At the greatest level. So speaking of which, like when you think about what is the biggest common traits you've seen or some of the common traits you've seen that have been made it hard for people to close that gap, right? Like what are just some of the common traits that you just see that people just constantly run into?
That's a really good question because and it's sad. Upbringing. I'll never be greater than my dad. Man, what breaks my heart is that most people don't have a model. They don't know what it looks like.
Right.
I don't know how to start a business. I don't know how to save on taxes. I was just told to pay them.
Yeah.
It's like it seems like these other people have figured something out and they make it look so easy.
Yeah.
But when I try to do it, it's complicated and it's confusing and I got to get a lawyer. How do I get a lawyer? And so there's this intimidation factor that keeps people in the shallow end. And so I think upbringing's one. Secondly, I think it's their environment and who they hang out with. If their friends think small, they'll feel like an outcast. They'll feel like an outsider. They'll never feel comfortable at dinner because the conversation is just about sports. They don't have a mindset that thinks, hey man, what would it look like for us to own a franchise? Like when you have friends that talk like that, it's a different ball game. I was with a client the other day. I was getting ready to speak, and they have 55,000 employees. I think they're the second or third largest accounting firm in the world. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
And I said, "Who's your ideal client?" And he said, "That's the question, Ryan." I said, "That's the question?" Well, I don't even know what I said. He said, like, what did I say? He says, "That is the right question to be asking." I go, "Okay, I guess that's the right question to be asking." What's the answer? He says, probably a hospital that does about $4 billion in revenue a year. And I was like, "Oh, okay." But he said it so
just
like
nonchalant.
Like he's placing an order for McDonald's.
No, literally ordering a number 7 with a Dr. Pepper.
Light salt and frosted fresh.
But that's how. But it's like that's the rooms I'm in, and so if you're in that room more, when you go to happy hour and someone's like, "Hey man, you got some gas money?" You're like, I mean, but it's just your mindset has been elevated. You're not better than anybody else, but your level of thinking
has been expanded.
Has expanded.
You can't go back.
And then, dude, I get emails all the time with people. Hey, you want to go in on this deal, multifamily housing? I got some sent to my email because of who I surround myself with.
Right.
And so when people aren't in those rooms, I'm consistently going, how do I create rooms where people can think a little bit bigger? That's why I enjoy speaking. It's like it's not, oh, am I funny, or am I thought provoking, or am I charismatic? It's, can I help someone grow their mindset today? Can I help a leader think outside of the box a little bit? And if I can do that for other people, then it's amazing who you end up surrounded with.
Carter and I actually often talk about the power of like getting in the right rooms, right?
Man,
and I think it's naturally obvious. Like if you get in the right rooms in the right spaces, you can grow, you can elevate. But what it just dawned on me when you were speaking that I haven't thought about in a long time is the reverse impact of like if you are, once you've been in that high level room, and Carter, this will resonate with you. Like you go to the gym and you're maybe in between sets, right? And you really could hop right back on, but you kind of like downplay it to make the other guy feel comfortable. Like, yeah, man, I'm actually tired. I need a break, right?
Yeah.
When you put yourself back in those wrong environments, you almost feel like you have to, because it's human nature to want to be relatable.
Yes.
Right? And so you almost put yourself, it can have a negative impact on you because you could actually go harder, right? But it's like, oh, I'm in an environment of people who this is not their standard. I don't want to be the odd man out. So I think it's so important to also realize once you have been exposed, to a certain level, you need to stay there.
Yeah.
Because when you get back in certain environments, if you're not careful, it could allow you to placate to your surroundings and bring you back down so that you can feel normal, right? Because nobody, it's unnatural
to be an outlier.
To be an outlier,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so it just clicked for me because I don't often think about it that way because I don't do it anymore, right? Usually, at least I try not to. But it's very easy, especially when you're on your journey, to like, hey, look, I need to stay in this space. I cannot have proximity, right, to the things that are going to pull me back in. But I haven't thought about it in so long until you said something that you said just clicked for me.
Wow.
Yeah. Something you said, I was doing research on for the podcast, and you said something really thought provoking in one of your pieces of content. And your content is fire, by the way.
Amazing.
Whoever is doing your social media, tell me that they're doing a great job. Okay.
So I'm giving them all the right ingredients.
It's you?
Me, so thank you.
Okay.
I'll tell them.
Oh, got you.
I'll talk to my team.
Yeah. You said something thought provoking, which I want to share with the audience. You said when you see someone that you admire, you should ask them the question, what does it cost to be you?
Oh, yeah.
And I just want you to elaborate on that, because I think most people don't even know to ask that question and what answers could come from that question.
Yeah, I think it's an honoring question too. You're honoring that person's work and sweat equity that they put into building what they built, you know? So I think that question of going, hey, what does it cost to be you? Because it's easy to pull up in a nice car and they go, well, how much does the car cost?
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong question.
Yeah.
What did it cost to get the thing that I was able to use to buy that car? But there's a cost behind the cost. And so I've just learned that when I've asked that question of successful people, they give me some answers that I go, oh, I didn't know that it cost you time with your kids. I didn't know that it cost you that many late nights. I didn't know that you had to pay somebody to do the research to put you in the position to do that thing for you to be an expert on that. Oh, I didn't realize that you had to take out a second mortgage to do that. I didn't know that your parents lost everything putting you through college. I didn't know the receipts of what it costs to be you. And once you get those receipts, the respect actually goes way up because you're like, oh, this is different. Some people's cost is remaining silent with their critics. It's amazing. I have met so many people that are publicly criticized that are very, very successful. And what it costs to be them is to bite their lip.
And take it on the
chin.
And I'm like, I would have never known that. But they're like, oh yeah, I could have responded. I could. And their strength is actually quiet strength. There's so many little things that, you know, if you see somebody you admire, I think you should be asking the question, hey, what does it cost to be you? Especially like growing up in church, it's like people are like, yes, it's my pastor. I'm like, do you know what it takes to deliver that every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
It's got to be funny. It's got to be relatable, and he got to answer your calls and go to the hospital and do the funerals and do the weddings. It's like there's a cost to being who that person is on that stage.
And what I love about that question, you can ask yourself, are you willing to pay that price?
No question.
To become that person?
Oh my gosh.
Because so many of us, we see somebody, we want the things that they have, but we don't want to pay the price that it costs to become the person to get it. And I think that 100%. Awareness is everything. Because you might not want to pay the price to be everybody, right? Like we were talking before the podcast, and you were just talking about some of the sports teams that you work with, and what a rookie DB has to go there. Can you just talk about that again? It was crazy.
Yeah, I was just working with an NFL team on spring training, and me and another professional sports coach from the NBA, we were sitting in the back of this defensive meeting, and we're pretty high level thinkers on sports. We were in the back. We were like, what? What language are I thought they were speaking Japanese. I was like, how in the world do these, they've only been here 2 weeks, how do they, and bro, they were clicking through video like, okay, and here we're gonna do the slot and then next, and like I was like, And nobody was taking notes. Nobody. I was like, "Hey,
What's happening
I'd be
here?
like, how are y'all?" Dude, it was moving
Yeah.
so fast, and I just had such a high respect for what they do at that level. Like
Yeah.
you can just watch them on TV and go, "Hey, you missed a tackle. What's your problem?" It's like, no, there's levels for this thing.
Yep.
So yeah, I've seen some things there where the intellect is ridiculous, and you just take it for granted.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, when someone's pursuing anything entrepreneurial, right, profit, making money, is something that's important, right? Because you got to keep the lights on, you got to do all the things. How do you approach balancing purpose with profit?
Yeah,
because sometimes they could seem like they could be at odds to some people.
It can be for a lot of people. They feel that tension. I love profit, and the reason I love profit is because of how we measure our business. So we measure the success of our business by how much we give away, not by how much we get. So every year we have a giving goal, and it goes up significantly every single year, and we've never missed it.
Wow.
And so my mentor is a part of this group. It's called The Gathering. You can only get in the group if you give away $200,000 a year.
Wow.
That's the mark. Here's the cool part about this room. There are some people in this room that are billionaires. There's some people in this room that make $250,000 a year and they give away $200,000.
That's crazy.
So it's not a room of ballers. That's
Right.
not it.
Yeah.
In fact, it is. What is the most humbling piece about the first time I entered into this room, and I was embarrassed. Okay, I was the best dressed person in the room.
Wow.
And I was like, why do I have nicer clothes? And they in New Balances.
Yeah.
And they pull up in Toyotas and pickup trucks. But this is a room that has just said, we want to make as much money as we possibly can so we can give it away.
Wow.
So I think when you have that heart, you proudly do great work. You do great business. You charge your fee. Why? Because I am trying to deliver something of so much value that it's worth my speaking fee. It's worth my coaching fee.
Right.
It's worth it. I'm saving you money. I'm saving you time. I'm taking your company to another level. So I'm gonna charge you money for it. It's like, well, this is a lot of money. I'm gonna give it away anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's not the point. The point is like, hey, I'm here to deliver value. If I deliver high value, you can charge what you want.
Right.
Was with one of my clients the other day. Dental group, saved them $250,000 in 30 minutes.
Wait.
Wow.
How? Well, I'm not getting into that. Well, yeah.
But again, it's like, I can charge you whatever I want.
Yeah.
I just saved you $250,000.
Anything less than that is profit.
No, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, so I'm very proud to have profit, and then be able to say, okay, great. Like I can charge you $50,000. I just saved you $250,000, and now I've got $50,000 to run my business and give and support organizations and make the world a better place. And so it's like I'm very proud to be an entrepreneur and make money.
Yeah.
And so the way I look at even just my family, we have a donor advisory fund, a DAF, that we're just like, man, I want my kids to inherit millions of dollars that they have to give away.
They have to give away.
Yeah. My kids are going to be givers whether they want to or not. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I already made this is how it works. But like seeing my kids that are 10 and 6 now that are such givers is the most rewarding thing as a parent.
Wow.
Watching them go, like they're getting very curious about money now. And they're like learning about all of these things. I broke down what fixed income was to my son on Father's Day. He goes, oh, so we're on fixed income? No. But
not at all.
I'm just letting you know why we're blessed, and I'm explaining it to him. He's like, okay. And it's like, and here's our giving strategy. So my kids, they walk out into the world with a mindset that says, I'm not here to get something from you. I'm here to give something to you. And that's Adam Grant wrote a book called Give and Take. In the world, there are givers and takers, and you got to decide which one you want to be. I'm a giver. So when I walk in a room, I'm going, hey, what can I do for you? And you can feel that. You can feel that with people.
Right.
You can feel when somebody shows up at dinner, it's like, what they want.
Yeah. We all got that friend that they call you, you're like, oh.
It feels like a bill collector.
Yeah.
They're a taker.
Yeah.
It's like, man, but when you're a giver,
First ring.
everybody wants to be your friend.
Yeah.
So that's how I balance it. I'm very proud to make money, charge money, because I know how we're going to steward that in a way where we're taking care of people and take care of our employees and people that work for me. We want to go above and beyond for them. If we get a contractor and they send us an invoice for whatever the amount is, we always give them more.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's powerful.
No question about it. Why? Because, and as a person of faith, I think, shouldn't we be the most generous people on the planet?
Yeah.
Shouldn't, when people think, oh, when they work with Ryan, go, we love working with Ryan.
Yeah.
He gives us more than what we ask for. Why? Because that's what I would want somebody to do for me. I would want to give somebody my speaking fee and they go, hey, man, we're going to give you extra. One time it's happened. And I'll never forget it.
You never forget it, right? He's like, yeah.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
One thing that at least I saw growing up, because I went to church a lot, and I see this today. I feel like there's a disconnect between faith and finances.
That's right.
And people of faith think that money is evil and that it's wrong to pursue wealth, when we know that the Bible talks about wealth probably more than a lot of other things. So how do you, as a person that came from a faith background, how you speak to these people talking about profit, why do you think there's such a big disconnect between faith and finances, and how do we begin to bridge that gap?
Yeah, I think there's multiple layers to that question. That's what I would call a loaded question, because part of it is you had a TV preachers, which dominated the airwaves for a couple of decades. And TV preachers specifically talked heavily about money and swung the pendulum the other way, where it was just like, all of us need to be rich and we all need to be blessed and we all, and they tied it to, but you got to give it to me. And so now I got a plane and now you're broke. And so now, so a lot of people have been responding to a pendulum instead of just like reading the Bible, or instead of just going, Lord, how do you want me to honor you with my finances? And so one of my favorite proverbs is code proverb. It's the scripture calls it the wisdom of a gur, A-G-U-R. Okay, and he has a very specific prayer. He says, Lord, two things I ask of you: keep lies from my lips. Make me an honest person. The second thing he asked for, he said, Lord, give me neither riches nor poverty. Give me enough for my daily bread. Because if I have too much, I might say I don't need you. And if I don't have enough, I might feel like I need to steal. So the prayer in my house and for my business is, Lord, would you give me every single dollar that I need to accomplish your will for my life? If I'm called to be a billionaire, great. If that's what you called me to do, that's what I asked for.
Ooh, that's powerful.
If I'm only supposed to make $500,000 a year, okay, Lord, I have contentment in my heart. So I don't wake up with this insatiable desire for more. I wake up with this insatiable desire to say, Lord, help me be obedient with whatever it is that you've given me. And so, Lord, if you've given this Christian a couple billion, I applaud you. I don't see anything sinful for that. And if this person's going, man, I'm just paycheck to paycheck, I go, well, I actually think that there's some things that you could do to make some adjustments to put you and your family in a better position to be a giver. And so I think it's about having a healthy perspective on finances and the scripture to say, Lord, give me enough for my daily bread to be able to provide for the people in my life. And so for the person that I'm going to lunch with one of my best friends right after this, and there's going to be somebody there that we're going to pay for their lunch. And God, thank you for giving me enough to cover both lunches. Because I feel like that's God's will for my life today. Yeah. And for tomorrow, who knows? But I believe daily, there is a daily trust with the Lord, with my business, to say, Lord, I'm going to trust that you've given me enough to be who you've called me to be.
Yeah. And I think that's so powerful, because the daily bread component of it, because it kind of puts a system in place of reliance and obedience, right? Because if you, like you said, if you have so much, we're still humans at the end of the day, right? And if you're just looking at that massive number, right, that seems larger than what you need for the day, it can be easy to be like, oh, well, do I need God as much as I think I need him? You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I think that's a powerful perspective shift, is like, and I think it will create a greater level of obedience to your calling, because if he starts to bless you with that, it's like, oh, I must be built and designed for so much more than even I thought, because of how much he's blessing me with, right? Yeah. So I think that's a paradigm shift for me. One that I'll be using going forward. Right?
I'm praying that prayer every morning.
Every single morning. I know you, in your work, you also talk about like the power of leadership and self-leadership. Yeah. Can you speak a little bit about that and the importance of what just leadership means to a person in their everyday life and how it's so important?
Yeah, self-leadership is this idea of it's going to be hard to lead others if you don't lead yourself.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. You know, if you don't have a level of discipline in your own life, people might have to do what you tell them to do, but they won't. Internally, they don't respect you.
Yeah.
And there is something about a disciplined person that we all respect. We respect the work that they put into their craft, and so I think knowing that you've led yourself well is vitally important before you start trying to give out advice to other people. So I wrote a book called Leveling Up: 12 Questions to Elevate Your Personal and Professional Development, which is a self-leadership book, asking the right questions.
As a matter of fact, in the spirit of giving, whoever leaves the best comment on this post on YouTube, we're gonna buy a copy of that book and we.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. So one of the questions in that book is, what's it like to be on the other side of me? And so it's a self-leadership question, and I think people work decades of their life and they never pause to consider, what's it like to be on the other side of me? What's it like to be on the other side of working for me, in a meeting with me, getting a pitch from me, on the other side of a comment from me? I am a master multitasker. I love multitasking.
Yeah.
But one day I had to ask myself, what's it like to be on the other side of the multitask? That means on the other side of me, you've got somebody that's got divided attention. And that's probably not very fun. So that's self-leadership. Self-leadership is you're asking these intrinsic questions that allow you to have deep thinking and allow you to go down that path of being able to say, all right, man, here's some adjustments that I might need to make.
Yeah, and I think what's powerful about self-leadership is there's a lot that you'll discover that other people may not even call out, right? But you have discovered it, and now you have a choice on, do I want to act on it, right? Do I want to improve on it? Because, especially when you've disciplined yourself so much to get to a certain point in life, you're probably meeting everybody else's expectations of you, right? And so it's like, do you really have to make the change? I think this is something so powerful about that self-leadership concept, because it forces you to make changes that no one else might even see. Yeah. And I think that's very, very powerful in and of itself.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I was watching some of your content. You said you asked ChatGPT, right? What is it? What does it feel like to be on the other side of the prompts? And you said ChatGPT told you that you have very high standards. No question. And so, is it a such thing to, as a leader, have standards that are too high, or are those people just not equipped to be under you because they're not the player that you need them to be?
That's a great question, and I don't know that it's an either or. It's kind of a both and, because on one level, the only way you're going to grow anything is if you have high expectations. You've got to have some vision. What leaders often lack is the ability to bring the team along. And so they get frustrated with people that aren't doing things that they never trained them to do in the first place. Leaders desire top talent that are prepackaged awesome.
Batteries included.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they often aren't. You often have to go get them the batteries. And that can be the frustrating piece about leadership, that you just keep hiring people over and over and over and over and over again, but your expectations are, it's not that they're too high, it's just that they're often not realistic. And so I think the more you're able to taper those expectations to expect human behavior, then you look in the mirror and go, did I train them? Did I communicate effectively exactly what I wanted? A leader goes, I want you to, this is what leaders really want. They want mind readers.
Yeah.
They want mind readers. That's what we want to hire. Yeah. I want you to just know and just figure it out.
Do it without me asking. The way I wanted to do it. Exactly. Yeah.
And be clairvoyant. It's like, do you realize what you're asking for?
Yeah.
And so when they're not mind readers, you're like, you suck at your job. It's like, well, maybe they don't. You know. So I think that's what I mean by it's like it's not lowering expectations. It's about having realistic ones that really allow people to flourish in that environment. To say, all right, can I set them up to be successful? Sometimes they are just lazy and they're just not good at their job. But sometimes we have failed to equip them with what they need to be good at their job.
Yeah. One of the best definitions for leadership that really helped me understand the importance of it, it said leadership is inviting someone on the journey to discover themselves while they follow you. And so it taught me that being a leader is developing the person to be their best self, because you see more in them than they see in themselves. And you're inviting them on the journey to discover that best version of themselves while they follow you to help you achieve your goals and your dreams.
I love that definition. Yeah, that's huge because, man, when I think about great leaders, I don't think that they lead great businesses or just build great businesses. I think they build great people.
For sure.
When you can look at a person and go, man, I spent time with this person. I helped bring them along the journey and they're flourishing. Like that is one of the most rewarding feelings in business, more than even getting more money. It's looking at a person's development and now they're leading and now they're training. Like that part's fun.
We just had a conversation about somebody on our team that is becoming a phenomenal leader. Like every person that she hires is also becoming an A player.
Trickle down effect. It's like A players hire A players. I saw this quote the other day. I think it was the CEO of Airbnb. He was like, A players hire A players, B players hire C players, right? And because what ends up happening is when you're an A player, right, you're not intimidated by great talent, right? Like you want to be around it. As a matter of fact, you thrive in it. And it probably annoys you when people aren't operating at their highest level. A B player kind of knows that they're a B player, so it's like I don't want to hire somebody that's as good as me. So I'm probably gonna hire somebody that's a little bit less than me. But because they're less than me, then I'm gonna have to hire a lot of those people. So then you're creating massive inefficiency in the organization because it's like you got this B player had to hire all these C players because they're not even a B player. So
that's hilarious.
I thought that was very interesting. I actually put it in the leadership ideas group chat that we have.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, so you mentioned a question that you ask yourself every day, right? About God blessing you with enough for that day, right? To fulfill the mission. What is your just personal model or life philosophy? I feel like you're the type of person that just like has some governing principles. Yeah. You mind sharing some of those?
Yeah, totally. I mean, one of them is give more than you receive. Yeah, give. You know, that's at the heart of everything that we try to do. Another one would just be try to add value to people's lives. You know, make this a valuable experience for podcast viewers and listeners. Like, add value to people's lives.
Right.
Add value to my clients' lives. Like, we're always trying to deliver value in some way, shape, or form. I think about my wife. I go, how can I add value to her life today? How can I take something off of her plate? Like, you're looking to add value. I think another mantra that I try to live by is this idea of see how good you can become. Helping people reach their potential and trying to reach mine. You know, it is an interesting tension to live with. In enough, a contentment that meets grind.
Man, you're preaching to the choir right now, bro. We can have a whole podcast about this, bro.
It is such an interesting tension to live with. It's like, I don't have to do nothing today. I don't have to.
You can stop right now and be good.
But I choose to.
Right.
It's like powerful. I want to give my best. And it's not to clamor at this more thing. But it is this, Lord, I really believe you put me on the planet to do something.
Right.
And when I stand before Christ someday, I don't want to have any regrets.
Right.
I have this idea where I call it die empty. I don't want to get to heaven rested. I don't want to get there. man, I feel pretty good.
Yeah. Leave it all on the
I
field.
want to get
Yeah, I give everything. It's all down there. I left it all.
Yeah, I left it all.
Yeah.
I left it all on field. So if that's the case, then
Yeah. And
stuff to
I
do.
think that also goes back to self-leadership, right? Even when you think about like being in the gym, right? I was doing rowers the other day, which I hate, by the way. And my trainer was forcing me to get like 1,000 meters under a certain time. And I kind of like, wasn't going as hard in the beginning. And then the time was approaching. I was like, shoot, I got to go. And I got to, but by the time I was done, I didn't have gas. I didn't have anything left. But it was this feeling of like, man, like you hit the mark because you gave it everything you got. And there's something so rewarding about that exhaustion. Yeah. But at the same, and just knowing that you gave everything. I think if more people could feel that more frequently, right? Yeah. The reward of knowing that I gave everything that I had, I think that would fuel people to do more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what breaks my heart is when people have dreams and you just look at them and go, you didn't even try that hard. You didn't give your best.
Right.
Again, it goes back to what we talked about at the beginning. You had these great aspirations, but you didn't have any execution. And it's like, but all I ask you to do is just try.
Just try.
But the reason that people don't try their best because they think, what if I try my best and I fail?
And I fail.
Good, right? But like now we're shifting the paradigm of that being a good thing versus that being a bad thing.
Yeah, but now you know.
Now you know.
You know what I mean? Like that. Like you owe it to yourself to find out how good you can get, or if you suck. But you should go find out.
Yeah.
Instead of wondering your whole life, could I have? I wonder. What if? I don't have that. I don't have that at all. Yeah. Like I find out every day. Oh yeah, you're not good at that, bro. You stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Like that's so good for you. And so this idea of being so afraid to fail is like, why are you so afraid to fail? What does it mean?
It's almost like you lose. It's like people treat hope like this potential bank account, right? It's like if I don't do it, then there's this idea that I can hold on to that maybe I could, versus knowing that I did it and I failed at it. Now I'll know forever that I didn't do it. And for some reason, I think for some people, that false sense of possibility feels like enough at times, versus like actually doing it and knowing whether you were good enough or whether you're not.
I'm so excited for somebody watching today, somebody listening today that is gonna go fail something. And let me tell you why I'm excited for them. They're going to fail miserably. They're going to fall flat on their face. And the reason that's going to be the best day of their life is because they're going to discover what they were never supposed to do in the first place. And in that moment, they will actually get to find out what they were supposed to do. So I think failure is so good for all of us to go, this is either teaching us a lesson to say, try again, or it's teaching us a lesson to say, it's time to pivot. And sometimes you wouldn't pivot unless you had failed it.
That's facts.
And so it's like, there's something about a moving target.
Yes.
The sitting still, just like thinking about it for a decade, it's like, no, go lose, win, do something.
Thinking gives you no feedback loop.
Zero.
How do you know the difference between something you should lean into versus pivoting, right? Like what is that fine? Because we're saying go fail, but like the first step of anything that you're going to be great at is going to be failure, right? So how do you know like, oh, this is the first step, even though I failed, versus like, nah, this ain't for me. I'm 5'3", I'm never going to dunk a basketball, right? Like how do you wrestle with that? How do you know like which path, which direction?
Well, in my book, Chasing Failure, I talk about this thing called the sweet spot matrix. How do you know if it speaks to this tension? One of the things is to discover if something is a sweet spot, something you should continue doing. Number one, is this something you're actually passionate about? Is there some drive there? Is there some fuel there? I know some people who are really good, they're just not very passionate.
Gotcha.
All right, so is there passion? Number two, are you good? Are you good? Not are you nice?
Right.
Not are you a good person? Are you good at your job? Not are we related? Not do I love you? Not do I care about you? Are you good at sound? Are you good at cinematography? Are you good at marketing? Are you good at accounting? Are you good at speaking? Like, I got homies like, hey man, put me on. You're not good. You're a good person. You're fun to hang out with, but you are not dedicated to your craft of getting good. You're not good. Are you good at what you do? Well, how do you know if you're good? Is it verified by other people that aren't related to you and don't know you? Do strangers think to themselves, you're really funny? You should be a comedian. But you can't fall for the trap of your little fan club. Oh, okay, now I need to go to this. Like, well, no, are you good? And honestly, most people struggle with that question. They don't want the honest answer to that question.
Right.
So I don't think I'm a good speaker. I'm a very book speaker. It's just verified by the amount of people who pay me to speak for a living. So you'll never hear me go, I'm a good speaker. It's like, no, I'm a paid speaker. Man, I get paid a lot of money to do it. And people continue to have me do that. And when they rank speakers at these events, they say, Ryan's the number one speaker at the event. Okay. They verified that. So I still wake up every day going, man, how can I get better? Man, why? Because I want to be good. So are you passionate about it? Are you good at this? Are you working on your craft? Is that verified by other people? The other thing that's part of a sweet spot matrix is, do you feel like you're put on the planet to do it? Is this a thing that when you fall asleep at night, you can't stop thinking about it? There's this innate thing that I would say is divine. Like God put you on the planet to do this thing. I'll never forget, I was speaking in college, and I definitely wasn't good then. And there was a professor in the back sitting next to one of my friends, and he leans over to her and he said, that young man was born to do what he did today. He could just he was born to have a mic in his hand. Like he was that. Like this was not just, oh, that was good. It was like, no, he's in the right spot. There, and sometimes that's a little bit intangible, but there can just be a little special sauce. You can just feel that with people. And so I'm always looking for that with people. So when you're looking at your thing, you're going, is there that special sauce? Are you good? And here's the deal. Let's just say you're not good. Can you get good? Can you train? You may not be able to run a marathon right now. I get that. But do you have the discipline within you to go start training for that? So those are things that you have to look at. Some people, they get one little failure, sing a sad song. Oh, I suck. And it's like, no, let's talk through this a little bit. Like, okay, have you done the training? Have you done everything that you were supposed to do to be good at this? Is there that passion there? Is there a God thing there? If you can make money too, that would be helpful.
That'd be icing on a cake.
That's a sweet spot. But I think it's interesting. I think I read something the other day. I think it's in the 90s, 90% something. 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 20. You just think about that. So you get all these people in the world that are going, I want to start a podcast. Do you? It's like, oh man, well it failed. It's like, no, you failed to be consistent. You failed to do the research to make the podcast good. You failed to not have great questions. It's like, where did you fail? It's like, well, these are things that you can actually take some lessons on and get better at. And if you can make it to episode 21, you're going to find yourself in the top 10% of podcasts all time just because you were that consistent. And so some people, I talk to people all the time. They're like, oh, I'm going to start a podcast. And then I'm like, will you make it to episode 21? Yeah, I'm that guy. You don't have one episode.
So,
Right.
So you have nothing to convince me that, like, go film 5 episodes on your phone and go, this ain't the best, but it's 5 episodes. So it's like, I'll take that. But most people, a lot of it's mental and emotional for them that they can't get past those hurdles to just start moving in a direction.
What would you say to the person that is really good at something, making lots of money at something, but they have this intrinsic thought that I shouldn't be doing it. It's kind of the golden handcuffs, right?
That's right.
What advice would you give to that person? Because there's some people out here who, this quote I live by: don't allow your resume to allow you to keep resuming a life you no longer want. Right?
There you go.
There's some people who are really good at something, right? Make a lot of money doing it, but they know in their heart that they're maybe called or led to do something else. What advice would you give to that person?
Pray. Yeah, you guys are praying to do.
Yeah.
There are some obvious realities that financial resources give a person to be able to live a particular lifestyle.
Yeah.
But if it's a luxurious prison, who cares? What's the point? Right. And the longer you live, the most valuable commodity that we have is our time.
Right.
And so, what are you going to spend your life doing? I think you want to obviously be wise financially, but I'm always going to be purpose over profit, personally.
Yeah.
Because I'm big on sleep. I'm big on
peace. Yeah.
Being able to have that peace that you live with, of going like, man, I'm doing something that I feel like I was born to do.
Right.
That brings meaning to my life. More and more, you're seeing a massive shift actually in corporate America right now, of people that are taking less money to work for companies that align with their values, to say, actually, I want to do meaningful work. And I'm okay making less money.
Yeah.
So the younger generations are becoming less and less money centric, which is an interesting trend to see until they get bills.
Yeah.
So, so I think it's important for that person that might feel those golden handcuffs to have a heart to heart with themselves.
Yeah.
To really go, man, what is it that I really want to do with my life? I feel like the luckiest person in the world because I would do my job for free. Yeah. Now, don't tell my clients that. They'll be like, oh, great.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I would do my job for free. What I charge for is my time.
Yeah.
Because my time is valuable. But my passion, it's like, oh, I would do this all day.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I would do it all day, every day. So I just so happen to be one of those lucky human beings that has a job that is very rewarding in multiple ways.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
Most people do have to make a decision about that. The other advice I would give them, depending on their personality, are we talking an A+ person, a B+ person, or a C+ person? If they're an A+ person, I would say, hey, let's figure out how to turn your passion into some profit.
Yeah.
And let's figure out a way to, like, because some people go, man, I really love to, serve these nonprofits, but man, I'm not going to be able to make any profits. It's like, well, that's not actually true.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what can happen. Some grants you could get. Like, let's take this thing to the next level. And what if you could be a wealthy nonprofit owner?
Yeah.
Like there are some options there that if we're talking about an A+ person, because a B+ person, you might be screwed.
Sorry, buddy. That's funny. That's
funny. So you've written quite a few books. You have Leveling Up, Chasing Failure, and How to Deal with Complicated People. What has becoming a New York Times best-selling author, what has that journey meant to you, and how, I know it's not easy. No. What have you learned about yourself in that journey of becoming an author and a best-selling author?
So, phenomenal question. Most people don't understand how the New York Times bestsellers list works. So, it has not a lot to do with sales. It has a whole lot to do with an unknown algorithm set of rules that literally no one knows. No one knows.
Yeah.
So, for example, my latest book, How to Work with Complicated People, hit the New York Times bestsellers list. It sold less copies than my last book, week one. Make it make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, we've done a full analysis of this. Okay. You can look at every list for the last 20 years. For every week. Okay. So the week that my book came out, my last book, the week that it came out, where it should have hit the list, it should have been number 3 on the list, sales-wise. The sales numbers are public to this, okay? This is public knowledge.
Yeah.
Didn't hit the list. Why? We don't know.
Yeah.
And everybody has their theories. Okay. There's all these like wives' tales and all. No one knows unless you are on the editorial team for the New York Times.
Yeah.
So we have tried to hit this list 3 times. First one was with Chasing Failure, and we did not hit the list. And I was heartbroken because we spent a lot of money. We thought we did it the right way, and you just didn't hit the list. Sometimes it's you're just not famous enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, you didn't do enough media. Or you didn't do enough podcasts, or which I didn't do that much this time either.
Yeah.
And they say, you can't do bulk. If you do bulk, you'll get a dagger. Well, they gave me a dagger on this time, and I didn't even have that much bulk. So it's like no one really knows. But that year, Chasing Failure hit the USA Today list. So while I'm trying to hit New York Times, I accidentally hit USA Today. Like that's the fun part about having high expectations and chasing failure. Leveling Up, we sold even more and didn't hit the list. And I was very, very salty. So salty that I said, hey, I'm never even going to try and hit the list again. Forget it. Why? I don't even need it. Like, I don't need the list.
Like the Grammys. Screw the Grammys, bro.
No, you're just like, who cares? You know, I'm just like, dude, I'm losing money. It's like, dude, I don't need this. And my business is growing anyways without being on the list, which is the great part. But then that book hit the Wall Street Journal bestsellers list. So I'm like, okay. So now I got USA Today and Wall Street Journal. And it's like, all right, well. So then I was coming out with this next book, and they were like, you don't care about New York Times? And I said, no, I don't care. Like, we're just going to make money on this book.
Yeah.
Like, forget about it. And essentially how it works is for a book to count as a sale, it has to be sold at full price. Whereas if you had me come speak at an event and say, hey, we want to buy 1,000, you get a bulk discount. Those books don't count. If I buy 10,000 of my own book and I'm going to go to a massive convention and sell all 10,000, I'll make a ton of money. Not one counts. So that's the game. Does that make sense? So it's like, you want to be on the list? You want to make money.
Yeah.
So you go back and forth on that. I said, hey, we're making money on this. I care less about the list.
Yeah. And
then, somebody just said, are you sure? And there's just a little Kobe Bryant in me that I just went, let's go one more time. And so then I got these book cover options that were just, they're okay.
Yeah.
They were good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sent them around to a bunch of friends' team, and everybody's like, oh, you do this one, change the font here, whatever. And then I had one gal on my team, Whitney, she goes, these are all trash. I said, you think everything's trash. We talked about this.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you're right. We have talked about this, but check out Rodrigo. Rodrigo is the #1 book cover designer in the world. And I see that one of my friends was on his page. I was like, oh my gosh. I called them and said, hey, tell me about Rodrigo. They go, oh man, you got to use Rodrigo. I said, okay, but what kind of dollars and cents are we talking about? He's #1 in the world. Yeah. And they gave me gated community money. Like, I was like this kind of price, like for a book cover? Are you crazy? It's outrageous. They're like, and she said something I'll never forget. She said, yeah, Ryan, it's called the big leagues. And I said, dang.
Gotta have people like that on your team.
Yeah.
And that was the moment for me. Forget about the book. That was the moment where I went, Ryan, you settle for good enough way too often. It's good. Nobody will know. It's good enough. And that day it was like, do you want to play in the big leagues? And it was like, let's go for it. And I met Rodrigo, and he was world class. World class. He sent me 28 options. I could have closed my eyes. He could pick any one of them. They were remarkable. Absolutely astounding. And then it challenged me to be world class in everything that we do.
Because you saw it.
Again, you get exposed to it. You go, hey, we ain't even working as hard as I thought we were working.
Yeah.
And it was like we all have more in the tank than we even knew. And then I sent it to another guy who's like really well known in the book world. And I said, hey, man, you think I should spend this much money on this book cover? And he was like, man, I mean, how good can it be? And then I sent him the website, and he goes, hey.
Said, well, hey, look.
He said, there's levels to this thing.
Listen here.
He goes, I've never seen anything like this, Ryan. He goes, Ryan, I'll tell you this. He said, Ryan, you don't need to do this. He said, you are talented enough that your speaking career will take care of itself. He said, man, you're rolling. You've got your video. He goes, you're good. He said, but if your book is on the desk of a Fortune 100 CEO next to another speaker's, he said in that moment, it's a game of inches. And he said, so you have to ask yourself, are you playing that game? And so I said, I'm playing that game. And so that was the journey. So when we hit New York Times, it was such a team win. I wasn't even excited for me. I was excited for our whole team that had been playing the game of inches for 6 months. Because we all started, it became vernacular for us. We started going, okay, that's social post. Okay, if we cut 3 seconds of that pause, would this make this video just that much better?
Different.
Hey, this caption, if we just change that joke, like we just got very, very granular about so many little things, and we just started playing the game of inches. So when we got the award, it was like, man, it was a reward for playing that game of inches and just taking yourself seriously. Again, I'll say it again, you owe it to yourself to see how good you can get. And so it's like the only way you're going to do that is if you're willing to play the game of inches, is if you're going to say, yeah, I am in the big leagues. I am going to take myself serious. I want to be good. It's not that I think I'm good. It's that every day I'm going. A client 2 days ago sent, I get reviewed after every speaking engagement. And my speakers bureau said, thus far this year, you've gotten 10 out of 10 every single event. I said, oh, I appreciate that. The last person wrote 10. It was awesome, but he talked a little too fast. So I said, Now this client had asked for a lot in 60 minutes, and they basically added 30 minutes of new content, and so I was talking fast.
Yeah, trying to condense.
So that was on me. And they gave me this feedback right before I was about to get on stage for another client. So I just decided, it's the big leagues. Game of inches. I'm going to cut a story today. And instead what I did, instead of telling a story that I know works, that I know is funny, that I know is impactful, I took that time and just slowed down. And I just kind of spent time with the audience. Yeah. Instead of just being on, there was just a little bit more of a fluidity of just, hey, I'm here to add value to your life today. Hey, today's gonna, we're all gonna get better today. In fact, I want you to look at the person next to you and say, hey, you're gonna get better today. And don't say it's about time. Everybody laughs. Like now there was a pause, a breath in the room. Of like, I got better today. I will never arrive. I will never walk in a room and go, I got this. I walk in the room going, how could I make one little tweak that would make all of the difference in this room? And so whether we're sending a gift basket or a handwritten note or anything, we're trying to be world class in everything we do. You've heard the phrase, how you do anything is how you do everything. And so once we had that book cover, it was like, there's no looking back. Now we got to be next level. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the journey of the book. More than the content of, I got more excited about the journey of the book than the content of the actual book. Yeah. So that was the New York Times bestseller.
Stop being content with being good enough. I mean, that's powerful.
Yeah.
This is more like a therapy session.
Yeah, but my head hurts right now because
you know the things like, man, I'm just. And that's the challenging part about being rewarded for being good enough, right? Because it's just like, but it's working, but you have more in the tank. Like, you're driving 45 miles an hour, right, on this open highway, but you know you can go 100.
Yeah. Right, 100%.
Love it, man.
Okay. It's
no secret that people who look like us have kind of been out of the loop, if you will, for years on just the game of building wealth and just different insights and things of that nature. Yeah. Which is why we decided to super serve our community, not exclude anybody per se. Yeah. So we always like to ask our guests, what does being a melanin millionaire mean to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think you certainly get to be a representation of what is often not normal, and I think I particularly love that phrase because typically in our space, you're only a millionaire if you are in music or sports. And so to do it in a different way that does not require uber talent, but uber discipline and uber strategy, it's like, hey, you can do this. You look at LeBron, you go, I can't do that.
Yeah.
No matter what I do,
Right.
unless I take super soldier serum, even then, it won't make me taller.
Yeah.
Right.
And so there isn't like I love LeBron, but there's no hope there. Does that make sense? There's not like, I can do that. It's like, naturally you can't.
Right.
So I love that phrase, because it's like, no, there are lots of things you can do in this life to put you and your family in a completely different position.
Yeah.
The thing that excites me the most about wealth in this day and age is like, man, I just love that my kids have options. Like that my kids like can wake up in this world and go, man, there's something that I want to be. It's like, you can't be anything.
Right.
It's not anything, but you can work for a lot of things. Like you've got options, and you don't have to. Which sometimes I wish they had a little bit more. I wish they had a little bit more struggle so that they could feel the weight of like they got to get their mom and dad out of Frisco.
Yeah.
But they don't have that, you know. It's like, but I love that it's like, hey, there's something you want to do in this life. Like, let's go get it. You want to go to Columbia for a couple years? Let's go to Columbia for a couple years. Like, we got you. We can support you to do that. We can resource you to pursue your dreams, to start something. And so that's exciting. And even for like their friends to be able to just come over to our house and just see how we just operate in a very normal way of just being able to say, hey, this is how you treat people. This is how you give. Like, I would never want people to come to our house and go, oh man, y'all got it going on.
Yeah.
I would want people to come to our house and go, man, we all left with something. We left with a gift. Like, they're the most giving family we know. Like, that's what we want to be known as. And so I think that's the exciting piece about it more than anything.
Yeah. Gives you those resources to give more.
Yeah.
It's powerful, man. Well, we thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Absolutely.
Adding value for sure
Yes.
to us and our audience. Any other final word? Normally we don't. That's the last question, but you guys so much value. I have to ask. Is there any other final words?
Well, here's what I would say, and I'm not just saying that just because I'm here. This is God's honest truth. This is the best podcast I've ever been on.
Really?
It's not close.
Wow.
And that's no shade to the other people that might be listening that I've been on your podcast. But you guys, every single question was a valuable question that I'm like, I'm excited to answer that question.
Yes.
Most of the time I'm like, why did you ask that question? It makes no sense. Like, that's not like that, you know.
Yeah.
But this has been like, I can hang out with you guys all day long.
Man,
and
love.
like literally like, I think the best podcasts are where it's like, oh, these guys are at lunch and they're just having a conversation talking about some very, very important things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where sometimes I'm on these podcasts, I'm like, why are we talking about this?
Yeah.
You know, or they're, dude, I've been on some podcasts, they don't even ask questions.
You got to drive.
They'll
like,
just be like,
you got
man,
anything
you're one of the best speakers in the world, man. Isn't that awesome? I'm like, yeah.
Isn't that awesome? It's crazy.
He'd be like,
Sure.
I'm like, is there a question? And then I'm like making up stuff. I'm like, well, you know, God's blessed me to be in a position to add value to people, and I'm like carrying it in a different direction.
Yeah.
But no, this has been a lot of fun.
Well, we received that, man, and it will be even better going forward because the way that you blessed us with this perspective of this is a game of inches, right? And how can we ask even better questions? How can we be even more prepared?
Yeah.
So thank you for your time, your energy, your heart, and it's been a amazing experience for us as well. So appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you guys.
And whether you like it or not, we friends now. So
Absolutely.
we going to lunch, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Peace out.